Marvel fans, this could be one of the biggest casting announcements since the Fantastic Four. Multiple major Hollywood trade publications are reporting that Kit Connor, best known for Heartstopper, is being lined up to play Scott Summers, also known as Cyclops, in Marvel Studios' upcoming X-Men reboot. While Marvel has not officially confirmed the casting, Deadline, Variety, and The Hollywood Reporter all report that Connor is the actor Marvel wants for one of the franchise's most important roles. If this report proves true, it could reveal exactly what kind of X-Men movie Marvel Studios wants to make. So today, let's break down who Kit Connor is, why Marvel may have chosen him, what this means for the future of the MCU, and whether he has what it takes to become the definitive Cyclops for a new generation. If you're excited for Marvel news, superhero breakdowns, and honest movie analysis, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because we cover every major MCU development as it happens. For years, Marvel fans have wondered one thing: who will lead the new X-Men? Many assumed Wolverine would once again become the face of the franchise. Others hoped Marvel would finally give Cyclops the spotlight he deserves. Now, the latest reports suggest Marvel is choosing exactly that direction. According to Deadline and Variety, Kit Connor is in talks or is being eyed, depending on the report, to portray Scott Summers in Marvel Studios' X-Men reboot, which will reportedly be directed by Jake Schreier. Although Marvel has not officially announced the cast, these reports come from highly reliable entertainment industry sources, making this one of the strongest MCU casting stories of the year. So, who exactly is Kit Connor? If you watch Netflix's Heartstopper, you already know him as Nick Nelson, the role that transformed him into one of Britain's fastest-rising young actors. His performance earned praise for emotional maturity, vulnerability, and charisma. Since then, Connor has expanded beyond teen romance. He has appeared in more physically demanding and dramatic projects, including Alex Garland's Warfare, while also landing leading roles in several upcoming films. Marvel clearly isn't just looking for a popular young actor. They're looking for someone who can anchor an entire cinematic universe for the next decade. Now let's talk about Cyclops. For casual fans, Cyclops is often remembered as the guy who shoots red laser beams from his eyes. Comic book readers know that's only a tiny part of his character. Scott Summers is arguably the greatest field commander in Marvel history. He's disciplined, strategic, emotionally reserved, sometimes stubborn, often misunderstood. He's the leader who makes impossible decisions while carrying enormous responsibility. That balance isn't easy to portray. An actor has to communicate confidence without arrogance, strength without aggression, leadership without shouting. That's what makes Cyclops one of Marvel's most difficult characters to cast. James Marsden delivered a memorable performance in Fox's original X-Men trilogy. However, many longtime fans felt those movies often pushed Cyclops into the background while focusing heavily on Wolverine. The comics tell a different story. Scott Summers is frequently the central leader of the X-Men. Many fans have wanted Marvel Studios to finally give Cyclops the attention he deserves. If Kit Connor is indeed Marvel's choice, it suggests Kevin Feige and the creative team may be planning exactly that. One interesting detail is timing. Marvel appears to be introducing younger versions of several iconic mutants. Reports already suggest Sadie Sink is expected to portray Jean Grey, while Samara Weaving has also been linked to Emma Frost. If those reports prove accurate, Marvel is clearly building a younger core team capable of carrying multiple films. Cyclops sits at the center of all of those relationships. His romance with Jean Grey, his complicated history with Emma Frost, his rivalry with Wolverine, his mentorship under Professor Xavier. Everything connects back to Scott Summers. Here's what makes Kit Connor particularly interesting. He doesn't reject the stereotypical superhero image. Instead, he brings something Marvel has increasingly valued in recent years: authenticity. We've seen it with Tom Holland. We've seen it with Florence Pugh. We've seen it with Haley Steinfeld. Marvel often chooses actors who can make extraordinary characters feel like real people. Connor has already demonstrated that ability. His performances feel natural rather than theatrical. That quality can make Scott Summers far more relatable than previous live-action versions. Another reason this casting makes sense is Connor's age. Marvel rarely casts actors for just one movie. The studio usually signs performers capable of appearing across several interconnected projects over many years. The X-Men are expected to become one of Marvel's biggest franchises after the multiverse saga. Whoever plays Cyclops may appear in numerous movies, Disney Plus projects, Avengers films, and crossover events. Marvel isn't simply casting for one role. They're potentially casting the face of mutant leadership for the next decade. There's also the physical side of the character. Cyclops isn't just intelligent. He's a trained combat leader. Connor has gradually taken on more physically demanding roles in recent years, suggesting he's preparing for larger action-driven projects. Marvel will undoubtedly put him through extensive stunt and combat training if the casting becomes official. Of course, not every fan is convinced. Social media reactions have been mixed. Some fans want an older actor. Others preferred names that had circulated in earlier casting rumors. That's completely normal. Nearly every major Marvel casting announcement initially received skepticism. Remember when fans questioned Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man? Or Chris Evans as Captain America? Or Heath Ledger as the Joker? History has shown that great performances matter far more than first impressions. One thing worth emphasizing is that this is not yet an official Marvel Studios announcement. The reports indicate Connor is being eyed or is in talks, but until Marvel publicly confirms the casting, plans can still change. Hollywood negotiations sometimes fall apart. Schedules change. Contracts evolve. So fans should stay excited while recognizing that the process isn't complete. If everything moves forward, this casting also hints at Marvel's broader strategy. The studio appears to be moving away from relying solely on nostalgia. Instead of bringing back the Fox-era X-Men permanently, Marvel seems ready to introduce an entirely new generation. That's important because younger audiences deserve their own versions of these legendary characters. The original Fox cast helped define superhero cinema. Now, the MCU has an opportunity to redefine the X-Men for another generation. My personal opinion is that Kit Connor is a surprisingly smart choice. Not because he's the biggest celebrity, not because he's the obvious fan favorite, but because he possesses qualities that fit Scott Summers remarkably well. Cyclops doesn't need someone constantly trying to steal every scene. He needs someone who naturally commands respect through calm leadership. Connor has repeatedly shown that quiet confidence in his previous work. If Marvel gives Cyclops the depth he has in the comics, this could become one of the MCU's strongest character arcs. The biggest challenge won't actually be Kit Connor. It will be the writing. For decades, live-action adaptations have struggled to fully capture why Cyclops is considered one of Marvel's greatest leaders. If Marvel finally embraces that version of Scott Summers, Connor could surprise a lot of people. As Marvel builds toward a new era after the multiverse saga, every casting decision carries enormous weight. Cyclops isn't just another superhero. He's the backbone of the X-Men. If Kit Connor officially joins the MCU, he'll inherit one of Marvel's most iconic roles, and one with sky-high expectations. Whether he becomes a definitive Cyclops will ultimately depend on the script, the direction, and the chemistry with the rest of the X-Men. But based on what we've seen from his career so far, Marvel may have found an actor capable of leading mutants into the MCU's next chapter. What do you think? Is Kit Connor the right choice to play Cyclops, or did you have someone else in mind? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Marvel news and analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.